So we have now learned that Walgreens is going to close 1,200 locations here in the United States alone. That's a massive, massive closure. This is going to cause pharmacy deserts all over the United States. Some say, many experts are talking about this, that we are about to see a crisis in the pharmacy world. Now I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but just understand this one thing. These 1,200 stores that are closing, these are just the beginning. It's going to get worse. And even Walgreens has said that themselves. So I'll break all that down in just a moment. But all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoyed these daily updates. And now let's begin. With many of these pharmacies closing down, this is going to cause panic here in the United States. Just look at this. Walgreens to close 1,200 stores as part of a turnaround effort, even though Walgreens' revenue rose 6% just from a year ago. This is the crazy part, but just listen to this number right here, because this is really going to show you how bad things are. Look at this.
Walgreens plans to close 1,200 of its underperforming locations over the next 3 years, including 500 of them over the next year. Now,
500 within the next 1 year, 1,200 locations in the next 3 years. But look at this. This is where things get scary. It says Walgreens is set to close 1,200 stores in the U.S. over the next 3 years, 500 of which will come in the next 1 year. The closures follow a June announcement to shut 25% of its U.S. locations. It says Walgreens reported a $3 billion loss in its fourth quarter fiscal 2024 results. Now, look at this. Again, I told you it's going to get worse. Walgreens has nearly 9,000 locations worldwide. Okay? 9,000 locations worldwide. The majority of them are here in the United States. According to reports, there are 8,700 Walgreens locations here in the U.S. Guess what? We are about to see a massive spike. Just so you know, if it is 8,000 stores here in the U.S., that means 2,000 have to close to reach their 25% target. That means 1,200 is just the beginning. It's going to get worse. But look at this. There are over 800 Rite Aid locations that are closing as well because of bankruptcy. 800 Rite Aid locations. CVS is closing down all over the United States. Walgreens is now closing down. I drove by one just the other day, shut down. But yet the store is packed full of goods. It's packed full, but the doors are locked. People aren't there. Parking lot empty. Yeah, this is what we're facing. Now look at this. It says pharmacy deserts are appearing across the U.S. as Rite Aid, Walgreens, and CVS drugstore closures spread. It says right here, Rite Aid pharmacy closures have hit Midwest cities particularly hard. Walgreens has announced it may close as many as 25% of its 8,200 stores, and decreased reimbursements are putting the squeeze on drug retailers and some point the finger at pharmacy benefit managers, which are the target of new FTC lawsuit, but PBMs are not the only cause of the struggles. Yeah, it's not just the pharmacy benefit managers. Everybody is struggling right now. Now I want to read a little bit of this article about Walgreens, okay? Look at this. It says in June, the company had announced in June, the company had announced if I can get it, there it is. In June, the company had announced its intentions to close a significant number of underperforming stores across the U.S. as it contended with profitability challenges and declining margins. But CEO Tim Wentworth, who took over in October of 2023, didn't give an estimate as the time of how many stores would be affected. He noted that a meaningful percent of the underperforming locations would shutter. Wentworth said in June that there is a difficult operating environment, including persistent pressures on the U.S. consumer and the impact of recent marketplace dynamics, which have eroded pharmacy margins. Something that has actually hurt pharmacies, like your Walgreens, your CVS, your Rite Aids, is the fact that Amazon is now selling, and you can get a prescription filled with Amazon. Some prescriptions you can get for as little as $5 a month. $5. That's what's crazy, because some of these, you go to a Walgreens, you're easily spending $60 to $70, yet at Amazon, it's only $5. Now, do you think Walgreens can compete with Amazon if Amazon's filling prescriptions at $5 a month, yet Walgreens is charging $40, $50, $60, $70? No, they can't compete. This is one of the reasons why many experts believe that Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid are pretty much just buying their time. In the next handful of years, they will completely shutter. Their doors will be shut forever, and people will be looking at Walgreens, Rite Aid, and even CVS as the blockbuster of the pharmacy world. So we're about to see what happens over the next handful of months, but as of right now, they are going to close 500 locations within the next year. That's troubling. Just think about this for a second. Just think about how many people go into Walgreens, and these are your, at every corner. You go into a Walgreens to get a flu shot. How many people do that? Decent amount of people. You know why? Because Walgreens is at the corner. To go into a clinic or a hospital to get a flu shot just takes too much time, right? Many people, especially lower income households, they're not going to go to a clinic to get a flu shot. They're not going to go to get medication. And go to a doctor. What they're going to do is look online, like most people do. They're going to look online, figure out what medication they should go buy at their local pharmacy, and that's what they're going to pick up. Whether it works or not doesn't matter. That's what they're going to do, because that's what works for their income. So experts are now anticipating that lower income Americans are really going to feel the pain. They are going to struggle, because by closing down all these pharmacies in your local area, you may have to drive 5, 10, 20 miles to the next pharmacy to get whatever it is that you need. And this right there is going to hurt many people, because many will not be able to afford to do it, or don't have a car to get them there. So we'll see what happens moving forward, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.